So we're welcome to this section again. And in this section, this is a part two of our discussion on the issue of budgeting and budgetary control. So in the last class, we defined budgeting, we defined budgeting and budgetary control. In that class, we said budgeting is the process of preparing detailed plans, usually expressed in financial terms, for future activities of an organization over a specific period. So these plans uh, is known as budget. That is set. This budget sets out expected income, expenditure, and resource allocation in order to achieve organizational objectives. So every organization have an objective. Yes, there is always a mission statement, and there is always a vision in every organization. And for you to achieve each of these objectives, there must be plan, short-term plan, long-term plan to see how these objectives come to realization. So budgeting helps management in diverse ways. It helps management to plan future operations in advance. It helps management to allocate the scarce resources efficiently in order to avoid wastage, in order to be prudent in the allocation of the mega resource. And also, it helps organization to give targets to each department. So in some organization, performance are measured by uh, certain financial and non-financial parameters. It's what we call KPI, key performance indicator. So if you are on the back end in an organization where your activity is not traceable to the main activity of the organization, your key performance indicator might not be measurable in terms of money, finance, can be measurable in terms of how efficient your service is. For those in the ICT section in the bank, they are not at the front end, they are at the back end, but ensuring that services, the bank service, online service are moving on smoothly. So you can measure their performance through how efficient their services are, yes, over the month, over a week, and the rest of it. So this budget helps organizations set targets for departments, even for managers, for those in the marketing department. Yes, every month, every week, your budget for the year is cascaded into months. From months, you can cascade it into weeks, daily plan, and the rest of it for you to achieve the overall objective of your department in a particular year. So this budgeting also helps organization to coordinate activities across the organization. And we talked about some forms of budgets, talking about the rolling budget. I have to ask questions, talking about the zero-based budget, and so on and so forth. So in the last class, we discussed and solve example on production budgets, taking a look at an example where an organization who is into production um, have a plan to set up a budget on what to produce. And we said one of the principal budget factor can be the sales, the determinant of the budget, of the overall production budget. Because if you know what to sell, if you know the quantity of goods you want to sell, that will determine how much of raw material you need to get. That will determine how much of labor you need to get. And that will be the determinant of every other budget going forward. So it might not be sales in an instance, it can be other limited resources which will drive other budgets, So we look at this example as it is seen on the screen, the case of XYZ company, which produces three products. And having solved that, we went further um, to dish out an assignment for every one of us to interpret, yes, to turn letters into figures. Yes, and this is the assignment. Yes, this is the assignment that we that was presented to us in the class that we saw. So at this point, I want one or two persons to share their experience about this question. What do you realize? The essence of me presenting this question is for students to be able to think on their own. Because in the hall, you need that grace to think and transform letters into figures. And that is why I've decided to present this question. Yes, and the essence of presenting this question is to make you know that you must be very sound in English language and be able to interpret certain words. Yes, once you see them in exam, it's not everything that you see in exam that you might have experience of seeing over time. Some you might have come across them, some might just be for the first time. So that is why sometimes I'll bring questions that you need to think and sit down and analyze yourself. But the fact that you didn't get it while we are in class now, while we are together, does not mean you don't know and does not mean you will not get it. So that is why we are having the class to keep building ourselves and be prepared for the exam, because you don't prepare for battle at the war front. This is the time for us to prepare. And as we prepare, is a learning process. We will definitely fail or falter as we try to solve one or two questions, but practice, I said, made perfect. And that is the essence of this class. So I want one or two persons to share their experience about this question before we move further into today's activity. Yes, floor is open.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, sir.
Right. Good evening, Ma. Good evening, Ma.
Sir, what really like came like a surprise to me was the opening stock of January, opening inventory of January. In fact, I'd finished preparing the 25% of sales for all of them. So I now thought there was no opening stock for January. But when I finished calculating everything, I now went back. I said, how would they not be opening stock for January? And they are opening stock for February, March, and April. So to my surprise, when I now went back and now checked, I saw on January 1, there were 3,700 units of product on hand. So I now went back. So the lesson I learned from this assignment is that we have to be reading line by line, because if not so, we may be thrown off balance. Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you very, very much for that. The well coordinated observation. Yes. Any other person? Yes. Any other person? Yes. This class is different from any other class. You understand? So just feel free to express yourself. Yes. Feel free to express yourself. Yes. All right, Madam Chuma.
What I have to say on that question, we just need to be confident in what we do. Because of, I think what is to throw people off guard is being afraid of what they see in the exam hall. So that's just what I saw when solving that question.
All right. Yes. Thank you very much. Yes. I always say for you to overcome this exam, you must build confidence. Yes. Some people might tell you that they don't even know how they pass. It was because they were confident in the exam hall. They gathered the momentum. Yes. One thing that enabled me to pass this exam was the ability to overcome fear. And based on that experience, I always preach that message. Yes, the message might look so childish, but one thing is you go to the exam hall with boldness. Yes, despite that I'm going with boldness, there will be elements of fear, but I'll not allow that fear to overpower the courage I'm supposed to gather. That is one thing. Yes, because sometimes when you go with boldness and courage, yes, you'll be able to put down certain things well. You put down certain things as expected. But by the time you go with fear, as you are reading a question that have about 3 paragraphs, which is question one, you already put your hand on your head that these people have come again. They want to kill me. They are not there to do you anything. Just there to you need to just show them that yes, you can put down something. Yes. So they are not there to fail you. They are just there to make sure that you're a better person. So that is one thing with the exams. So must learn to put fear away. Must learn to put fear away. That is very important. And I want to tell you that there is no question that you cannot solve. Yes, there is no question that you cannot solve. Just have that at the back of your mind. You can solve any question. You can solve any question. But sometimes in doing that, you might use 2 hours to try to unravel a question while you are still at home now practicing. But that 2 hour you might think is a waste. It's not a waste. It's a build up. It's a build up because by the time you spend 2 hours in trying to analyze a question at home presently, by the time you try to go back to that question again, you spend let's say 30 minutes. Yes, because you are already used to the question and you know the flow of the question. So that rehearsal is what will transform what you take to the exam hall. And once you see a question, because of your constant practice before the exams, you'll be able to know how to place figures. Yes, and I want to tell you as you solve, don't solve with eyes. So many people solve questions with their eyes and say, okay, this is how they put it. No, you write it out. You write it out. It's not a waste of time. Get a book, a very clean book. Use it to solve questions. Yes, if you are using Jota they give you in wedding to solve this performance management FR, you are not yet set. Get a very good book, yes, hardcover book, and use it well to solve questions as if you are in the exam hall. Yes, so that is very important. So this question is was put forth to test our understanding and to put us on our toes. That when reading, you must read very well between the lines and with great understanding. It's a very simple question, but it's very much load for you to unravel. Yes, so I saw various attempts that was forwarded to me. Yes, they are good. And if you didn't get it, still go back to it and solve it again. Still go back to it. I've sent my own solution to the platform, and I've seen several persons that have sent uh, correct solutions to the platform likewise. So you can do well to do that to solve again. Yes, please don't accumulate assignment for yourself. Yes, the assignment you're not doing it for me. You are doing it for yourself. But what I'm doing is just to make sure that to push you to solve those questions. Yes. So if you solve it, you are solving it for your own good and not for me. So please do well to solve it. And you don't know what the exam holds. So because I will not want you to come back again to write this paper. And that is why I'm putting all efforts in place to see that we are better. We are better. So I forwarded a question to the platform. I think yesterday, if I'm not
Okay, good
mistaken.
evening. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, sir. Sorry, I really want to appreciate you for every effort we are putting to see that we don't come back because, like I told you earlier, I almost gave up in this. With Ican, but because of your advice and your effort trying to push us, that's why some of us are still here. This question actually, like you said, fear. I am used to that. Whenever I go to the exam hall, that fear will always take over me. This particular question came out in the last diet in PSAF. Though I fumbled somehow, but I was able to make effort in solving it. But when you gave us these assignments, I went back to that same question again and I look at it. The only thing that changed in this is just figures. we were asked to prepare for first quarter, 3 months, just like what you have given us now. Last diet in PSAF, I think was question 4 or 6. So with this effort, I mean, this push you are pushing us, I pray that God will continue to strengthen you and help us so that we don't come back. The question really opened my eyes to some of those weaknesses that I had even during the last diet. So thank you so much.
All right. Thank God, sir. Yes. To buttress that. Okay. All right, Mr. Isa Yunusa, before I say something.
We really appreciate your effort to make us succeed. Thank you for that, sir. Regarding this question, this assignment that you gave us last time, I made an attempt to read, but I later discovered from some of my colleagues here submitting their own, trying to use 3 months. I know that when you were explaining, you made mention of quarters, first, second, third quarters, we should notice of it very well. But regarding this question, I try to understand how this relates to first or second quarters. I couldn't get it, but I don't know. I don't know if you can help me out through that method. Thank you, sir. You know,
All right, sir.
the problem we are having, most especially me, is the problem of English language. I don't understand English very well. That is my problem.
I don't worry, you understand English, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. So a quarter, those times where we used to follow our mom to the market, for those of us that grew up in the north, we are used to a measurement pattern whereby a quarter is 4 cups. 4 cups. Yes. So that 4 cups is not actually the quarter per se. Yes, but as we grow up, it can be very confusing. When you say a quarter, somebody will say 4. So a quarter in regarding to months is 1/4 multiplied by 12. When you say 1/4 multiplied by 12, that will give you what, sir? That will give you what, sir? That is invariably 12 divided by 4. Because 1 times 12 is 12. 12 divided by 4 will give you what, sir?
Plus 3.
That will give you 3. So from the question says that, well, prepare a budget showing the quantities of each type of material to be purchased each month for the first quarter. So first quarter in a year consists of what? January, February, and March. That is the first quarter. We talk about the second quarter. It is from where? April, May, June. We talk about the third quarter. It is from where? July, August, September. The fourth quarter is what? October, November, December. So in a year, how many quarters do you have? You have what? 4 quarters. But how many months make a quarter? How many months make a quarter? Is 3 months. 3 months. 3 months make a quarter. 3 months make a quarter. So the question asks us to prepare material purchase budget each month for the first quarter. So the first quarter consists of how many months? Which months? January, February, and what? And March. January, February, and March. That is a quarter. That is a quarter when you talk about a quarter. So, and one thing we must know that in budgeting and accounting, a quarter refers to what? A 3-month period within a financial year. So since a year has 12 months, it is divided into 4 quarters. So The quarters are usually what? First quarter, that's January to March. Second quarter, April to June. Third quarter, July to September. Fourth quarter, October to December. So in most budgeting organizations, um, quarterly budgets are prepared and reports can be prepared quarterly likewise. And why do they do this? To review performance more frequently instead of waiting till the end of the year before they review performance. So timely review of performance is very important by comparing the actual result with the budgeted figure. So this can help to quickly identify variance and corrective action taken on time to avert uh, too much errors being piled up. So I don't know if this is clear about a quarter, sir. So a quarter is 3 months, sir. I don't know if that is fine,
Yeah,
sir.
thank you so much. Sir, do you actually know what happened? You
No,
know, I
sir.
copied the question in that night,
Okay.
and I'm seeing the question clearly now where I made
Okay.
the mistake.
All right,
You
sir.
understand? I copied the question down to my exercise book. It's now that you are explaining, I try to look at my own and what is on the screen here, and I discover there is an error in what I copied.
Okay, sir.
Thank you so
All
much.
right.
I
All right. Take care,
appreciate
sir.
it.
All right. So one thing I want to say is that it's very important that we solve these assignments. In the last diet, there is a woman in my class. She she's very good. Yes, I can testify to that. Yes, every assignment she will definitely solve, though she might not send on the platform, on the general platform, but she sent to me, and I will be amazed by her level of performance. But one thing happened during the exam. Yes, she called me. Yes, that she want to leave the hall. Yes, as in after the exams that she wanted leaving the hall, but one of the supervisor regulators encouraged her to remain. Yes, to remain. And what she was able to put down helped her. She passed both PM and FM, and now she's in the professional level. Yes, for those who were in that class, you remember a woman, Madam Nkechinyere. Yes, Nkechinyere. Yes, she every assignment she always make persistent effort, but she discovered that fear always grip her over and over again in every diet. But we have to talk over it after the exams. But to the glory of God, she was able to pass those two papers in the last diet. So one thing, why am I bringing this up? Always try to make effort to solve assignments. Yes, it will help. Even when you are down in the hall, there will always be one spirit of remembrance somehow. It will come from somewhere that you cannot even tell. So always try to do something. Yes, to do something about every assignment forwarded, even though you don't know it. Try and write something down and make consultation. You can ask on the platform from colleagues, from friends on that group, because I might not always be on ground to attend to everyone. That is very certain because I'm human. I have so many things to attend to. So don't, if you have any challenge, you can always throw it up on the platform. Yes, where nobody responds. Once I'm free, I will definitely come up with solutions. So please, um, we have to move ahead. So now I forwarded the question to the platform 2 days ago, still on budgeting, still on budgeting. Yes, I don't know if anyone have taken his or her time to study that question. I don't know if anybody have studied that question. This is the question. The question on mega laboratories. I didn't just forward the question just because I want to forward it. I sent the question for a particular purpose. Yes, I send the question for a particular purpose so that you can read it and ask yourself certain questions. That's okay. All right. Mr. Obajide said he has solved it. Very good. All right. Very good. Yes, I'm coming back to you, sir. Yes. So the the essence of forwarding this question is to enable you look that assuming I'm confronted with this question in the exam hall for the first time, what will I do? What are possible things I'm to look out for? Yes. So that is the essence of sending this question to the platform, because I know even when you go to the solution in the Pathfinder, if you don't know certain things, certain principles you need to know, you won't be able to come up or determine certain figures in that solution. So aside Mr. Obajide that has indicated the fact that he solved the question, any other person made attempt to even read through? Yes. Any other person? Okay, Mr. Charles, fine. Yes. Tell talk where you didn't read through.
Sorry, I
Mr.
was busy with schoolwork.
Okay. Mr. Issa Yunusa, you didn't read through, sir.
I read through it. I make an attempt
Okay.
to read, but I didn't finish it.
Okay. Madam Macaulay, did you read?
So I did, but I was not understanding it.
Okay, I'm not understanding it. Madam Odun Ayo, did you read through?
I did not read through. I was busy throughout.
Okay, thanks for being sincere. Yes. Madam Chuma, did you read through? Yes, she's not here. Madam Komzi,
I don't know what was happening. Hello, sir.
did you read through, ma?
I didn't read. I went for visiting. Though. Sorry.
Okay, fine. Okay, Madam Komzi, did you read through?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes,
Did you
I
read?
did. I sure went through the question, but I won't lie to you, I didn't solve it. So
Okay, no problem. It's Madam Esther Keku. Did you read?
Sir, good evening, sir.
Good evening, ma.
Sorry, I didn't go through the question. I'm so sorry.
No. You don't need to be sorry. Yes, Mr. Felix, is it read through?
Sir, sincerely, I didn't read through. I didn't read.
All right, it's fine. Mr. Gregory Agim, did you read through?
I didn't, sir, but I think it's not I'm a bit conversant with this question.
Okay, you are conversant with it?
Because I know during our last diet also you solved this.
Yes, I did.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I did. Yes. Mr. Manlat, yes. I don't know if this is your first time. Although I saw you in the last class, but I don't know if you actually read through.
No, sir. Unfortunately, I didn't.
Okay, all right, sir. Mr. Moshood Adigun. Okay, he's not here.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Moshood.
Yes, sir. I didn't solve it, sir.
Okay, fine. Okay, I'm trying to know if this is a female or a male. I'm not too used to the name anyway. Unwegwi Ikechukwu. I don't know if Unwegwi is a female name.
So I did not attempt it to.
Okay, this is a male. You don't attempt
It's a mess.
All right. Yes. Mr. Shego, I don't know if you attempted this question. Or you read through. No, I am not expecting you to attempt. To attempt is an extra mile on your own part. Yes. Did you read through, sir?
I read through it, sir.
It's fine. So Temitope said she was busy with schoolwork. Madam Victoria Oni.
Yes, sir. No, I did not. I was a bit down.
Wow, be strong, man.
Thank you, sir.
All right, sorry, be strong. All right. So thank you. Just for me to take samples of. So, Mr. Babajide, what was your experience even when you solved? Mhm. Mr. Babajide, are you there? Okay, he's not there. So we're going to look at.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Okay. So
Yes.
yes, I saw it, and then I almost got the tax budget part. I think that I overlooked that payable side, that payable and one thing. So those are the two mistakes I made in the tax budget, but I almost got it.
Okay, okay. Okay, fine. All right. So we're going to solve this question together. Can somebody read, please?
Mega Laboratories PLC is a successful manufacturing company in the pharmaceutical industry. The company manufactures a number of household drugs. Since the advent of the COVID-19 pandemic, its products have been in high demand. One of its newest products is known as vaccine COVID. In order to manufacture the product, a single raw material, Zitromax, is used. Budgets are to be prepared for the quarter ending 30th June 2021, and the following information is available for this purpose. 1. At 31st March 2021, various balances were as follows. Receivables, 500,700 naira. Creditors, that is suppliers of Zitromax, 153,000 naira. Inventory of vaccine COVID, 20,300 units. Inventory of Zitromax, 200,000 kg. 2. Extracts from the standard cost card vaccine COVID are as follows. Direct material Zitromax, 10 kg at 5 naira per kg, 50 naira per unit. Direct labor, 2 hours at 6 naira per hour, 12 naira per unit. 3. Suppliers of Zitromax give 2 months credit to the company, whereas customers take 1 month's credit. 4. Sales expectation for the quarter ending 30th June 2021 are as follows. 25,000 units of vaccine COVID at a selling price of 95 naira per unit. 5. Assume that sales of vaccine COVID and the purchases of Zitromax will be evenly spread over the 3 months to 30th June 2021. 6. Depreciation relating to plant and machinery is 55,000 for the quarter ending 30th June 2021. 7. Other expenses are paid immediately in cash and are estimated to be 200,000 for the quarter ending 30th June 2021. 8. The anticipated inventory levels at 30th June 2021 are as follows. Inventory of vaccine COVID, 15,000 units. Inventory of Zitromax, 150,500 kg. 9. Assume there is no work in progress and that stocks of vaccine COVID and Zitromax are valued as standard direct cost. See 2 above. Required. For the quarter ending 30th June 2021, prepare a cash budget. Amount for each separate month are not required. B. Income statement budget. Clearly state any assumptions you have made. And C. Briefly state the benefits of a cash budget to Mega Laboratories Limited. Lastly, sales are often considered to be principal budget factor of an organization. Required. Explain the meaning of principal budget factor and assuming that that is sales. Explain how sales may be forecast, making appropriate reference to the use of statistical techniques and the use of computers. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you very much for that. Yes, so this question is an interesting one. I like the question because it's a question that will put you on your toes again. So looking at this question, you discover that we have two forms of two levels of inventory. Two levels of inventory. So you must be able to know what these two levels of inventories are. Because by the time you begin to read in the exam hall, you are hearing vaccine the COVID, you are seeing Zitromas. You begin to imagine which way will I go. So from what we've read in this question, you will discover that we have two levels of inventory. Inventory of what? Vaccine the COVID. Inventory of what? Of Zitromas. So as you read through the question, you will discover that one is a finished product and one is a raw material. So who can tell me which of these material is finished product and which is raw material?
Vaccine the COVID is finished product. Citromax is raw material.
Very good.
Yes.
Vaccine COVID is finished. Zitromas is raw material. That is very good. Yes. Looking at this question again, that budget are to be prepared for the quarter ending. So the quarter ending June 2021 starts which month? The
April
quarter ending,
2021.
yes, April. That is the second quarter now. April, May, June, isn't it? So looking at this information, this first information that at 31st March 2021, various balances were as follows. That means as at the end of the first quarter, as at the end of the first quarter, these are the closing inventory, isn't it? These are the closing inventory. So as at 1st of April, all these will be brought forward, as at the 1st of what? Of April. They will serve as the opening balance for the new quarter. For the new quarter. Take note of that. For the new quarter. Now, when you look at this question more, you discover that they said an extract
Sorry,
from
sir.
this.
Please, can you just repeat what you just said? I'm sorry.
Now, I said from Roman figure 1 at 31st March 2021, various balances were as follows. Various balances were as follows. 31st March is the end of the first quarter. Yes, you must learn how to play with dates now. 31st March is the end of the first quarter. So these values here, receivables, creditors, suppliers of Zitromas, inventory of vaccine the COVID, inventory of Zitromas, all these values values as at the end of the first quarter. Since this is the value as at the last day of the first quarter, they will be carried forward to first of the first quarter, which is 1st of April. So these values will serve as opening balances for April 2021, which is the beginning of the month for the second quarter, which the question wants you to look at. Yes, which the question wants you to look at, because the question says that required for the quarter ending 30th June. So the quarter ending 30th June commence in which month? April, May, June. April, May, June. So these balances are closing for the first quarter. They are now opening for the new quarter, that is the second quarter. I don't know if that is clear.
Clear, sir. Clear. Thank you, sir.
So the Roman figure 2, that extract from the standard cost card. I defined or I've explained what standard cost card is. That when you see standard cost card, the values in standard cost card, they are values for what? They are values for what? Standard cost card. The values in standard cost
1
card.
unit.
Very good. They are values of 1 unit. They are values
Values
of
per unit.
1 unit. Yes. So a standard cost card is a document that shows the standard cost of producing 1 unit of a product or service. So broken down into its cost elements, that is standard cost for you. And this standard cost card always or most times serve as a benchmark for cost control and variance analysis. And that is why when you are solving variance, you always see in a question, you see the standard cost card. Yes, the standard cost card is the standard. So what is the reality? What is the actual cost? So the difference between your standard and your actual will lead you to variance. So standard cost card, the cost card that shows you the cost of producing what? 1 unit of a product. So extract from the standard cost card, vaccine the COVID as follows. We have direct material, zithromas. For you to produce vaccine the COVID, you need what? Zithromas. Zithromas is the raw material. And one vaccine the COVID, you need how many kg of zithromas? You need 10 kg of zithromas. And 1 kg of zithromas costs how much? 5 naira. See, it's 5 naira. 1 kg of zithromas costs 5 naira. So if you are using 10 kg to produce one vaccine the COVID, how much will you incur overall on 10 kg of zithromas? It will be what? 10 kg multiplied by 5, and that will give you what? 50,000 naira and 50 naira. 50 naira. For you to produce vaccine the COVID, you need labor hours. Now, one vaccine the COVID, you need 2 hours, and the cost per hour is what? 6 naira. If you are using 2 hours and 1 hour is costing 6 naira, how much will you pay on 2 hours? It will be 6 multiplied by 2, it will be 12 naira. Take note of this. Now, this is very important. Roman figure 3. Suppliers of zithromas, please, if you are being distracted, pay attention now. Suppliers of zithromas give 2 months credit to the company. It means those that supply us what? The raw material, they are giving us 2 months credit. It means if I'm to get zithromas in the month of March, and I'm giving 2 month credit, payment to the suppliers will be due in which month? March, April,
Month of May.
May. Take note. Suppliers of zithromas give 2 months credit to the company. 2 month credit to the company. Whereas customers take 1 month credit. That means the customers of the company, of mega laboratories, those who buy vaccine the COVID now, are giving 1 month credit. Are giving what? 1 month credit. It means if I'm your customer and I've come to you to get vaccine the COVID, and I made purchase in the month of April, when will I pay you back?
Month of May.
month of May. Take note of that, so that when we start putting it in tables, we'll have less question that why are we bringing this figure here? It's because of this statement. Suppliers, those who get our raw material from, they are giving us 2 months credit. So if we are to purchase in the month of May, payment will be due on May, June, then payment will be due in what? In July. But those who have come to us to buy vaccine the COVID, if we're giving them vaccine the COVID in the month of May, we will get our payments back in which month? In the month of June. Let's take note of that. So now, sales expectation. Watch out for this also. Sales expectation for the quarter ending 30th June 2021 are as follows. Sales expectation for vaccine the COVID, there is a projection that we're going to sell how many units of vaccine the COVID? 25,000 units. 25,000 units. At what selling price? At 95 naira per unit. At 95 naira per unit. At 95 naira per unit. That is the projection. Now, the next item, that assume that sales of vaccine the COVID and purchase of Zithromax will be evenly spread over the 3 months. It means that if the sales of vaccine the COVID is 25,000 units and it will be evenly spread over the 3 months, what is the implication? It means over the 3 months, it will be 25,000 divided by what? 3. So each of the months we get equal proportion, isn't it? All right. So that's, hope we understand that statement. I'm taking my time to explain this so that when I put it in table, we don't have issue. I hope you get that English.
Sir, can you please repeat that Roman figure 4?
That's sales expectation for the quarter ending 30th June. It means the quarter from April, May, June. Your expectation in terms of sales is for you to sell 25,000 units at the selling price of what? 95 naira per unit. So it means that if you are to prepare your budget for that quarter, what will be the basis of your budget? What will be the foundation of you preparing your budget? It is your sales. So your sales expectation for that period is what? Is 25,000 units. So if that is your expectation, your labor budget, your production budget should be based on your sales expectation. Take note of that. Now the next says that what? Assume that sales of vaccine the COVID and purchase of Zithromax will be evenly spread. Evenly spread means equally. If I'm to have 12 months, it means 25,000 unit divided by 12. Each month we get same value. But we are looking at just a quarter, the second quarter, April, May, June. How many months make up a quarter? 3 months. So 25,000 unit divided by 3 will give you the sales in units for each month. By the time you convert the 25,000 units to value, to naira, the results you get, when you divide by 3, we give you the sales value of each month within that quarter. Hope that is clear. If it is not clear, speak out. I'll go back to it.
It's clear, sir.
All right.
It's clear, sir.
Thank you, sir. All right. So now, the next is that what? That depreciation relating to plant and machinery is 55,000. for the quarter ending 30th June 2021. Now, take note of this. For those of you doing financial reporting, you know that depreciation is a non-cash item. Yes, is a non-cash item. It does not involve the movement of cash. It is just uh, a record item, an accounting item, just to show that to prepare for replacement of an asset over a period of time. So it does not actually involve cash movement. I'm saying this so that when we start preparing cash budget, you know that depreciation should not be part of it. Take note of that. So now, other expenses are paid immediately in cash and are estimated to be what? 200,000 for the quarter ending 30th June 2021. So when you are preparing your cash budget, take note of all these. Some of these transactions are paid on credit, are paid on a later date, while some are immediately paid in cash. So as at the month in which those items that are on credit are received by the supplier, are received by mega laboratories, you recognize those transactions as cash element. But as at the time they are on credit, it will be nil. But the period, the month in which they are paid, they are recouped, they are recovered, though that month you recognize it as what? As cash inflow. As cash inflow. So take note of that. We're going to show all this. I'm just taking my time to explain first. So now the anticipated inventory levels at 30th June 2021 are as follows. Now, 30th June 2021 can be termed as what? Based on this question.
Closing inventory.
Yes, the closing period of that quarter. Yes, is the closing date of that quarter. So all these items you are seeing, inventory of vaccine, the COVID 15,000 units, inventory of the traumas, they are the closing inventory for that quarter. Closing inventory for that quarter. Assume that there is no work in progress and that stocks of vaccine, the COVID, and Zitromas are valued at standard cost. That C2, not 2 above. So this is just a little analysis. The question requires us to what? For the quarter ending 30th June, prepare a cash budget. Amounts for each separate month are not required. Are not what required. It means they don't require us to prepare for April, May, June. They just want us to prepare in lump sum everything for the quarter. So now, what are we going to do? The question will not tell you to do certain things, but based on the flow of the question, you should be able to know that since I have some variables, these are certain things I need to do, certain workings. Why am I saying this? Because by the time we finish solving, somebody will ask me, but they didn't ask us to do this. But looking at the composition of the question, you discover that since I have this variable, I should be able to determine this. This will lead me to this. So the examiner will not just tell you, prepare this. This is a professional exam. They will not just tell you, show this. This is not a university exam. So you are expected to think and act as appropriate. So now, the first thing we are to do, as far as this question is concerned, is to determine our sales budget, because sales is the principal budget factor. It is the factor that will lead to every other production. So we must determine our sales budget. Our sales budget will lead to what? Based on our last class, sales budget will lead to what?
Production budget.
Production budget. Production budget will lead to what?
Material usage.
Material usage.
Material usage. Then material usage will lead to what?
Labor. Purchase.
Labor.
Material purchase.
Fine, material purchase. Now, when you solve material purchase, what other budget do you think you can come up with?
Labor budget.
Fine, labor. Labor. Fine. Fine. So now, that is it. So now, let's start based on what we've listed. Let's start the solution. Let's start the solution based on that. Let's start the solution based on that. So, solution. If your background is noisy, you can just mute yourself. The solution. 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 Mega laboratory. Mega laboratory cash budget, because they want us to prepare cash budgets. Cash budgets. Mega laboratory cash budgets. For your heading is very important. For the quarter, that is the beginning of you passing the exams. For the quarter, ending what? 30th June. For the quarter ending 30th June 2021. For the quarter ending 30th June 2021. So now, based on what we said, that we need to do some workings before we actually arrive at this destination. We need to do some workings before we arrive at this destination. So what are those preliminary workings? We need to determine our sales budget. Our sales budget, based on the question, will be what? Sales budget. We're given a value in units. The value of sales given in units is what? Sales in units. 25,000. 25,000. Now, the selling price for one unit is what?
95 naira.
95 naira.
95 naira. Your sales budget in value will now be what?
2,375,000.
Will be 2,375,000. 2 million should be 375,000. $2,375,000. 2,375,000. Now, haven't prepared your sales budget. Which other budgets are we going to prepare? Our production budget.
Production budget.
Production budget. Now, production budget.
Yes, I cannot
What
see
will be the
screen,
determinant of our production budget? It will be our sales. Our sales in units. Because you are producing in units, not in monetary value now. So based on this, our sales in units is what? 25,000 units. 25,000 units. From the question, do you have opening stock of finished goods? And do you have closing stock of finished goods? From the
Yes, we
question.
do. We have
Yes, sir.
So for the finished goods is vaccine the COVID. Your opening stock is what?
20,300.
20,300.
20,300. And your closing stock is what?
15,000.
15,000.
15,000. All right. Madam Victoria, any question, please?
I can't see the screen, sir.
Okay. Let me reshare my screen then.
Thank you, sir.
Can you see it now?
Not yet.
Is it visible now?
It's not. Don't worry,
Okay,
go on.
you can
Sir,
just
network.
you can log out and come back again. It will
All right.
come. Yeah.
All right, sir.
So from the question, our opening inventory of vaccine the COVID is what? 2,300. The closing inventory is what? 15,000 units. So based on production budget, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? You less what?
Opening inventory.
You less opening inventory, which is what? 2,300. Why is this opening? Because it was brought forward from the previous quarter into the current quarter. And we add what?
Closing inventory.
We add closing inventory. The closing inventory is what? It's 15,000. 15,000 units. So when you do the plus and minus, your production budget will now be what? In units.
19,700.
Production budget in units will now be what? 19,700. 19,700. Hope this is clear. Hope this is clear, please.
Yes, sir.
All right. In case this is not clear, we've actually break this down in our first section where we introduce budgets, where we solve an example. So all these shouldn't be complex again. So having determined your production budget, what will be the next thing?
Material usage.
Material usage budget. Material usage budget. So we have material usage budgets. Material usage budget. Now, the basis of your material usage will be what? The quantity you want to produce, which is what? 19,700. 19,700. So material usage budget will be based on what? On production, on the quantity you want to produce. So production in units. Now, how many units are you producing? 19,700 units. Going to the question, to produce one vaccine the COVID, you need zithromas, right? Which is the raw material. How many kg of zithromas do you need to produce one vaccine the COVID?
10.
10 kg. So if I need 10 kg to produce one vaccine, the COVID, and I have 19,700 units to produce, how many kg do I need overall?
197,000.
Material used
197,000.
in kg, and I need 10 kg for one. 10 kg multiplied by 19,700, I will have my total usage. Total
197.
usage 197,000 kg. 197,000 kg. 197,000 kg. Yeah, so this is usage. I haven't determined usage. The next will be what? The next will be what? Material purchase. So you can see the sequence: material purchase, material purchase, material purchase budget, material purchase budget. Now, the basis of what you will purchase is based on what you want to use. So if you determine your usage will lead to what? To purchase. So material usage from our previous analysis is what? Is 197,000 kg. 197,000 what? Kg. Now, this material usage, are we just going to run to the market to go and buy 197,000 kg? No, we need to ask ourselves, do we have any inventory in our warehouse? Let's check. If we have, we don't need to buy what we have again. We'll have to less that. So looking at this question, do we have opening inventory of zithromas, which is the material we are to purchase?
2,300.
Opening inventory of zithromas now, not vaccine the COVID.
200,000
kg.
200,000 kg. Do we have closing inventory?
Yes.
150, 500.
150,
Fine.
500.
So what are we going to do now? What are we going to do? With less opening, right?
Yes.
Less opening. Less opening inventory of raw material, of vaccine the COVID, of zithromas if you want, of zithromas. And the opening inventory of zithromas, according to the question, is 200,000 kg. 200,000 kg. And the closing inventory is what? Going to add that. Closing inventory.
150,500.
150,500.
Add closing inventory. Add closing inventory. And closing inventory will give you what? 150, 500 kg. And you do your plus and minus. The material to purchase will now be what?
47,500.
147,500. That is material purchase in units. Material purchase in units. So material purchase is material purchase in units. Material purchase in units. And the result will be what? 147,500 kg. 147,500 kg. What else are we to determine?
A labor.
Now, you know this material purchase is in units, right? If you want to get it in value, what will you do? We have any information
So
regarding?
multiply.
Okay, you're trying to say something, sir.
Okay, sir. So we multiply the unit cost, which is 5 naira, times the material um purchase budget.
In units. Yes, that is very good. So to get the monetary value of this our purchase here, it is stated in the question that what direct material zero mass 10 kg at 5 naira per what kg. The cost of 1 kg of zero mass is what 5 naira. So what are we going to do? It will be what? It will be this whole value here. This value of 147,500 multiplied by 5. When you do that, that will give you what? That is material price per kg. This will give you, this is what? This is 5. So 5 multiplied by 147,500 kg to give you what? To give you what? 737,500.
737,500.
Right. Now, as you are solving, hope something is coming to your head that this material purchase, where are you getting it from? From where are you getting it? From your supplier. And as you obtain that value from your supplier, you know you are enjoying certain credit facility. Do you get? You are enjoying certain credit facility because you'll be given 2-month credits for those materials. Well, let's keep moving. We'll get to the point of analysis. Yes. So now the next we are to prepare is labor cost budgets, or we also determine the labor hours. Yes. So let's just have it in this form. Is labor cost budgets. For labor.
Sir, please help
Yes.
us scroll up so that we can see, sir. Thank you, sir.
You can write very fast so that
So please, I have a question.
all right, what is the question?
So this material purchase budget, why didn't you
Yes.
continue where you just wrote labor usage? Like I don't understand I don't know if you understand my question. Why do you have to
Say yes.
bring it under the material usage?
If you like, you can continue under it, but there are two different types of budget. Material usage, as we've concluded that here, right?
Yeah.
So I can still decide to continue, but I'm trying to manage my screen. So that is why I decided to go and present it up there. Yes. So the different workings separate from
Excuse me, sir.
material. All right, sir.
Sir, sorry, the material purchase, the one you
Yes, sir.
just converted to the value, is it, are we required to get the monetary value of this material?
Very well, sir. We are very well. We are driving to cash budget, sir.
Okay.
Cash budget. So all you are doing must be converted to monetary value. So it is from all these monetary value you will know how much you have to pay in that quarter. Yes. So it is expected that you convert it.
That is also, sir. Thank you, sir.
Sorry, where did we get our 5 from?
Right in the question. See it here in the standard cost here. Direct material, Zitromas, 10 kg at what? 5
Okay.
naira per kg.
Okay.
So the labor cost budget. What will determine your labor cost? Your production budget in units. Your production budget in units. Production budget in units. And that is what? 19,700 units. Now, for you to produce 1 unit, how many hours do you need? Look at the question. For you to produce 1 unit, how many hours do you need? Direct labor, 2 hours at what?
2 hours.
6 naira per hour. So if you are to produce 19,700 units, how many hours will you use overall? Labor hours. Labor hour per unit.
39,400 hours.
39,400.
So multiply by what? 2. The total production hours will be what? Total production hours.
$39,400.
236,400.
Total production hours will be for now, the hours will be 39 what? 400.
400.
So in terms of monetary value, how much are you paying per hour? See, it's 6 naira per hour. 6 naira per hour.
226,400.
236,400.
So 236 400. Yes. Sorry, I know you can't hear me. I have to mute myself. See record. Yes. So now the direct labor rate per hour is what? 6 naira per hour. And what we have, the total hours we have is what? 39,400 hours. So the rate per hour. Rate
236,500.
per hour. Multiply by what? The total hours. We have it as what? At 6. So 6 multiplied by what? 39,400. We have the labor cost to be what? Total labor cost to be what? Labor costs will now be what?
226
236.
400.
400.
226 400. Fine. 226 400. So when you determine this, you can now proceed further. Now, looking at the sales, your sales budget, your sales budgets, your overall sales for the period for that quarter is what? Is 2,375. 2,375. Now remember, you are giving your customers 1 month credit, right? 1 month credit. And the question made it clear that sales are spread evenly over the 3 months. Evenly over the 3 months. Let's analyze these cells. Let's analyze the cells. The cells. Let's analyze it. Let's look at the cells. We want to know the cash element, the cash sales received within that particular quarter. So the question made it clear that sales are spread evenly throughout those period of 3 months. So the total sales is what? 2,375,000, right? Divide by 3. The monthly sales will be what? The monthly sales will be what? The monthly sales will be what?
1,667.
The monthly sales will be
719,607.
that is let me say 667 66.7. So now going through the question, we have how many months in that quarter? We have April,
3 months.
April, May, and we have what? June. We have total. We have total. Now, please take note that suppliers of Zitromas give 2 months credit to the company, whereas customers take 1 month credit. Now, the sales in April will be due in which month? Sales due. The sales in April, the sales of 791,666.7 of April will be due in which month?
June.
May.
It's June.
Customers take 1
June.
month credit. 1 month credit. The sales in April will be due in
Is
what?
in June.
In May. 1 month credit.
It's
In May.
May. 1 month.
May, sorry, 1 month, May.
66.7. The sales in May will be due in which month?
June.
June.
The sales in June will be due in which month?
July. July.
That is out of the quarter.
Of the quarter.
So we are not considering that it will be carried forward to the next what? To the next quarter. So, but we are not asked to show that. We are asked to prepare just for this quarter. So we don't have business with that. Fine. Now, do we have any receivable brought forward from the previous quarter?
Yes.
Yes.
Sales on credit that are yet to be collected are termed as what? Receivables. So receivable brought forward from the previous quarter is how much?
500 and
500,
5,700.
So what we are doing is to determine the cash due within the quarter, the cash due within this quarter. So now the receivable brought forward from the previous quarter, which would come as opening in the current quarter, is what? 500, 700. Now, your total receivable or your total cash in terms of inflow will be what for this period? For this, we have 500, 700. For this, it will be what? 791, 666.7. For this, it will be what? 791, 666.7. So in total, your total inflow for this period will be what? When you add these three variables, your total inflow will be what? Should have 2
should be
million.
2 million 84,034.
84,034.
Any ambiguity here? You have a question regarding this, please? Any question? All right. Let's take it further.
Excuse me, sir.
All
Are you
right, sir.
starting solving it? Abi, we are still on the workings.
We are still on workings.
Okay, sir.
Yes. It is these workings that will make up our cash budget. We just pick our figures and come up with our cash budget. So in terms of, cash budgets is talking about cash entries or outflow in form of cash. So within this period of April, May, June, what are the cash received? You see the sales of June that will be due in July is not a cash element within this quarter. Do you understand? So we are not considering it. Though it is a sales. If we are to prepare our trading profit and loss accounts, you understand? We are trying to look at the overall sales. The overall sales will be what? The overall sales will be 2,375,000 for that quarter. But when we talk about cash sales, the cash sales will just be what? Will just be 791 plus 791,666 for the 2 months, because we are giving 1 month credit to our customer. So the sales in June will be due in the next quarter. So that is not a cash element within this quarter. So please take note of that. So we are trying to come up with a cash budget. So everything that has to do with cash within this quarter is what we're trying to look at now. So this is for sales. Looking at purchases. What is the story about purchases? Our purchase budget is what? Our purchase Our purchase budget, material purchase budget is what?
737, 500.
500. From who are we are purchasing from who? From our creditors, from our
Creditors.
suppliers, from our suppliers rather. So now, what is the statement about purchase? That's what? Assume that sales of vaccine the COVID and purchases of zithromas will be evenly spread. It means the purchase will also be what? Evenly spread. The purchase will also be evenly spread. The purchase will also be evenly spread. So what are we going to do at this point? Purchase will be evenly spread. How will that be? It will be what? 7 3
We
divided
divide
by what?
7 by 3. We divide it by 3.
So we have it 245 833.
833.3.
So we have 3 months: April, May, and we have what? June. You can have your total. You can have your total. So now, the question made it clear that what? Suppliers of zithromas, those we are buying from, they are giving us how many months credit? 2 months credit. Say it. Suppliers of zithromas give 2 months credit to the company. So now, if I'm giving 2 month credit, purchases, the purchase in April will be due in which month?
In June.
June.
And that will be what? 245 833. Will be due in June. The purchase in May will be due in which month?
July.
July.
July. It's out of our reporting period, the 3/4. So we are not considering that. The purchase in June will be due in which month? In August. Is out of what we are considering. So we don't have business with those values because they will not become cash within this period. So now, do we have any brought forward in form of
Purchase.
yes, creditors, suppliers of zithromas, those we are to pay? You can see it, creditors, suppliers of zithromas. We have a brought forward of how much? 153,000.
53,000.
So we have it as what? Creditors. Which means we've purchased goods from them, but we are yet to pay. But it will be due within this what? Quarter. It will be due within this quarter. So the value is what? 153,000. So based on purchases, our total will be what? Total, this will be 153,000. This will be 245,833. Your total will be what? The total will be what? Will be 398,833. The total should be 398. Is this clear, please? Something is confusing. Speak out now.
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now in this case, in this question, we're told that there's no need to do a monthly like splitting this splitting the transactions into a month and so on. But we need to do that in the working. But now, the assumption is that the purchases were made in April.
Yes.
Okay, so do we need to state the assumption in the question? In the
Yes.
solution rather.
Very well, sir.
Okay.
I think the question also asks us about that. Yes. While we read the question, that let's see. I think while we read the question, see, sir, income statements under clearly state any assumption you have made.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
So now we can now prepare our cash budget. Since we've been able to come up with a breakdown of items that have to do with credit that are not due within that period, and we've been able to come up with cash transactions, cash inflows within that period, and cash outflow within that period. So how will our cash budget look like? Cash budget. Now, cash budget entails inflow and what? And outflow. Cash inflow and cash outflow. Similar to a cash flow statement. A cash flow statement. So to prepare your cash budget, we have two parts of this. We have cash inflow. We have our cash inflow on one part, cash inflow. From the question or from the workings, our cash inflow will include what? Collections. Collection from customers. Collection from customers. Now, the collection from customers within this period total what? This value. 2,084,033 naira point what? 40 Togo. Isn't it? So we have it. Collection from customers 2,084,033.4. Any other cash inflow within that period? Any other cash inflow?
Sales.
Is it the sales that will broken down, sir? That's all gave us this. These sales entails everything, collection from customer. So,
yes, sir.
And that is it. So we don't have any other. Our total cash inflow will now be what? Total cash
the
inflow.
same amount.
2,084,000.
So what next? Our cash outflow. Cash outflow. From our analysis, from our workings, our cash outflow include what? Cash outflow, money you are paying out, include what? Purchases, payment to suppliers, seats, purchases. So we have it as what? Cash outflow.
You want to do what?
Suppliers.
You want to do what? P.
Payment to suppliers. We have payment to suppliers. And the value is what? 398,833. Any other outflow, looking at the various things we've solved, any other outflow, we have labor cost. Labor cost is an outflow. It will be included. There is no any statement about labor cost. You understand? Whether it is we have this being paid. Those that work, they don't want to hear story. Give them their money. Yes. By the time you work and they didn't pay you, you will not be happy. So definitely you need your money as you work. So not good you tell your worker go and come back next month. The labor cost. The value is what? On what we've solved? 236,000. Any other
400.
expenses? Any other 236,400? Any other expense?
Other expenses, 200,000.
Yes, very good. See, it's other expenses are paid immediately in cash and are estimated to be what? 200,000 for the quarter ending 30th June 2021. So these will form part of it. Form part of it. Other expenses, 200,000. 200,000. So your total cash outflow will be what? Total cash outflow will be what? Total cash outflow will be what? And you add that 398, 236, 400, 200,000. You have 835.
233.
So now
233.
233. Based on these workings now, your net cash flow will now be what? This is A. This is what? B. Your net cash flow will be what? A minus B. Net cash flow will be equal to what? A minus B. And that will give you what?
1248.
12.
800.
124. 800.
0.4.
Now the question you must ask yourself again.
0.4.
Okay, 0.4. Okay, fine. 0.4. Question you ask yourself: do we have opening cash balance? Any cash balance brought forward from the previous quarter? Anything cash brought forward from previous quarter as opening? There is nothing. No opening cash balance. No opening cash balance. So we have it because we need to determine the closing cash balance. And for you to determine the closing cash balance, you must know what the opening is. And that is why we are asking ourselves that question. So the opening cash balance is what? Is nil. Opening cash balance is what? Is zero, is nil. Now, what will now be the closing cash balance? It will be the net cash flow minus what? The opening, which is zero. So, or plus the opening, which is zero. The closing cash balance will be what? Closing cash balance will now be what? 1,248.4. Hope this is clear.
Sir, please do well by scroll it up for us. Let's see the figure, please.
Can you see the figure now?
No, everything went black. Okay. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. One, two, four, eight.
So this we are solving has elements of production budgets and elements of cash budgets, and also leading to income statement. So this is like an introduction to cash budgets in a way. So some of the things we are doing here will be looked at in cash budgets. We looked at in cash budgets. So this is cash budgets as far as this question is concerned. So for you to move to the next part of the question, which says that you should prepare income statements. In income statements, you don't split the transactions, either credit or cash. You use the overall value of sales and of purchase. So the question says that what? Prepare income statement budget. Income statement budget. The income statement budgets will now come in what form? Income statement budget. Income statement budget for quarter ending. Income statement budget for quarter ending. For quarter ending 30th June 2021. Now, these income statements, can you tell me the components of income statement? What make up your income statement?
Income and expenses.
Expenditure.
Okay.
You have revenue. Less
Both
cost
cash
of
and
sales.
non-cash items.
Well, income statement comprises of the sales less cost of sale, cost of goods sold, then you get your gross profit. If cost of goods sold is not given, you can have your the inventory, opening inventory and closing inventory plus purchases is given. You can use it to determine it. In some cases, you can also have your sales, you less your opening stock. No, I think it's opening stock plus purchases less closing stock
All right, sir.
to
Thank
get
you
your
very
cost
much.
of sales. Yes.
Yes, you've done well, sir. So
Thank you, sir.
first, we have our sales. The sales value is what? From our workings. Now you're looking at what? The overall sales here. These sales here. You understand?
2 million. So
Yes, these overall sales. We are not talking about the cash sales now. The overall sales for this period is 2,375,000. So the sales value will be what? 2,375,000. Now, since this is income statement, we are driving towards determining our gross profit. So the point is this: our opening stock is what? Our opening stock is what? Our opening stock.
20,300.
Opening stock of finished goods. 20,300, right? How much are you
Yes.
selling one? How much are you selling one?
62.
62. How do you know that? How do you know that? How do you know you are using 62, sir?
Could be, 62.
what's the
You have
product?
your, yes.
So see
It's
it. 50 plus 12. The cost of producing that finished goods.
Yes.
See it. 50 plus 12 from the standard cost card is 62. See it here, 62. 50 plus 12, 62.
Sorry, sir. Your screen left blank.
Is it same for
Your screen
everybody?
went blank, sir.
Is it same for everybody?
Your network.
Yeah, from my side here.
Let me share again.
Yes, it's showing now.
Okay.
It's showing.
All right, fine.
Thanks.
All right. So it's 62. As you can see, 50 plus 12, 62. So the cost of the opening inventory, which is 2,300 multiplied by 62, will be what? Will be 2,300 multiplied by 62. And that will give us what? 1 million.
1,258,600.
58,600.
Now, your production within that period is what? How many units did you produce?
197,000.
19,700.
Multiply by what to get the value?
Oh, 97.
62. What will you have?
1,221,400.
21,400. Now, the closing inventory within that period is what? At this point, you are lessing to get your cost of sales. Less your closing inventory. Your closing inventory will be what?
We have it to be 15,000.
Multiply by 62. Multiplied by 62.
930. 930,000.
930,000. So when you add your opening plus your production less what your closing. You have what? To get your cost of sales. So I have 1,550,000.
1,550,000.
So your sales less cost of sales will give you what? That is 2,375 less this cost of sales. Will give you what?
825,000.
Your gross profit will be 825,000. 825,000. Now to take it further, do we have any expenses associated with this? We have other expenses.
Yes.
Yes, other expenses.
Other expenses. And the value is what? It's 200,000. Any other expenses from the question?
Depreciation is an expenses when treating income.
Depreciation.
Depreciation.
So depreciation less depreciation. Depreciation. And the value of depreciation is what?
55,000.
5,000. So these are the expenses associated with the income statement. Yes. So now, when you say gross profit less these expenses, you determine what?
Net profit.
You arrive at your net profit. Your net profit. And the net profit will be what?
570.
570.
570,000. That would be the net profit. So that is what the requirement 2 wants you to come up with. That is what requirement 2 wants you to come up with. So based on this question, what are certain assumptions we've made? Yes, to make this solution possible. To make this solution possible. What are certain assumptions we've come up with? Yes. Can you think of some? Yes. What are the assumptions we've come up with? So yes, during our workings, what are certain things we've come up with? At least you should be able to state 2 or 3. Yes.
Production projects, total sales, material usage, material purchase, labor cost. We were able to come up with purchases, sales. Yes.
And production budget.
Okay. So those are the assumptions we can think of. And such questions will come. So
Sorry, sir. As they are listening to you, if you can help me turn it to cash budget so that I can write it down, please. Thank you, sir.
Some of the assumptions I noticed that one thing you observe is that all units produced are sold unless in case where inventory information is provided. So when you look at the question, where opening and closing inventories, the question says that opening and closing inventories are very well clearly stated. So, and the question, we can see that there is no work in progress. There is no work in progress. So, and one thing we observe that sales mix remains constant. It means the sales for each of the months in the quarter we are dealing with, they are constant. They are constant. So there is no variability in the sales. So, and if you look at the cost behavior, the cost behavior, the cost behavior, we have the standard units, yes, it's given, and the standard provides a realistic um, value. There is no any contrary figure aside the ones that have been given in the question, and there is no change in the standard prices. These are used to solve the question, to solve the question. So, and more so, we assume that the credits facilities given to the customers and received from the suppliers are as stated. So the quarter in which overlap into another quarter, that is the sales on credits which overlap into another quarter, is assumed to be treated in the following quarter. So we just write some of the assumptions based on what you've solved, and then the appropriate mark will be given. So the question I want to ask based on this is, what are the benefits of cash budget? What are the benefits of cash budget? The cash budget we have. What are the benefits? Can I get a response, please? Benefits of cash budget.
Hello, sir.
Yes, ma.
Sir, let me use the benefit you gave us that day, the advantages of budgeting. It helps us to control the expenses,
Okay.
control of costs.
Okay.
It helps in liquidity management.
Okay, fine. So most of the two you've mentioned, when you go to the answer in the Pathfinder, you definitely see them. You definitely see them there. Yes. So now we talked about the issue of, yes, Madam Lindami.
Okay, good evening, sir. It helps us to plan the investment profile we have for the year based on the budget.
Okay, based on the availability of cash projected. Yes.
Yes, sir.
So talking about principal budget factor, as far as this question is concerned, what is principal budget factor?
Sales. Sales.
Yes, sales is the principal budget factor. But if you are asked to write about principal budget factor, what can you tell the examiner? Principal
Hello?
budget factor. I'm
Hello,
with you,
sir.
ma.
Is
I
the
hear you,
factor
ma.
that limits the production budget for that period?
All right, yes. Thank you very much. So that is it about this question. I want everybody to solve it again. Yes, go back and try to solve this question again. I'm reading the examiner's report on this question. The question examines candidates on cash budget. It was attempted by the majority of the candidates. The performance was average. The main pitfall was the inability to compute correct purchase costs of raw materials used. Candidates are encouraged to read the institute's test when preparing for the examination of the institute. So I know definitely this question will still be tested again. Yes, they will test this question again. So I encourage you to know how to solve this question on your own. Yes, go through it, attempt this question again on your own, even if it is not tested. The knowledge, the concept you know about this question will aid you to solve another question when similar thing is being tested. So I encourage us to go back again and solve it. It is not a crime when you solve this question like 2 to 3 times, because when you solve the first time, you definitely have some hookup. You need to quickly go and check your book. Where have I made a mistake? So by the time you are solving it again, you should not make that same mistake again. Yes, that is where learning curve sets in. So solve it again till the whole thing, you have the whole thing with you. Yeah, so that by the time revision come and you're trying to solve again, you will not struggle to get any figure. Yes, because there is no time. So anything you are doing now, do it well. So that when revision comes, you put in, you will not stress yourself too much. Yes, because when the exam begins to draw very much closer, you see tension everywhere. But don't let tension have power over you. Yes, and for tension not to have power over you, it is what you are doing now that will determine what will happen to you in that period. So do it well now. I know it's not easy. We are working, family issues, everything. But despite all these odds, we must give in our best. Because it's not easy when you pay and you're not getting the results you want. It can be demoralizing. But for you not to get demoralized, give it all what it takes now, and God will crown our efforts with good success. Thank you very
Amen.
much.
Amen. Thank
Any
you, sir.
question?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Good evening. Sir,
Thank you very much. I have a question, sir.
sir, I have a small question, but
Thank thank you, sir.
it's not that strong, sir. First of all, whether you can help us to drop this passage in our WhatsApp group. I don't know if you can help us. We'll be grateful, sir. Then the second one, sir, the question and cash budget that you prepare, they say quarterly. And when we're about to prepare, I'm expecting you that you bring all those months out, like April, May, June. But this one, I'm not like those months is not out again. But in exam hall, can we use this method that you bring out? That's what we're going to use it, or we can also use the other method to bring the stated the months out.
Yes, I will not respond to this question. Somebody else will respond to it. Did you join
Good
this
evening, sir.
class late?
Please, sir, let me say
Yes,
something.
I joined late.
It,
Right.
it is the reason is that it has been stated that we should not do it monthly. We should not show the month when we are preparing the cash budget. It is stated in the question, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Thank you, ma. So
Sorry, sir.
they are quite all right. I'm
Hello?
with you, sir.
Sir, please, I am a bit confused. Where it is stated that there was no work in progress.
Yes.
What if there is work in progress? What is the difference between these two? Where there is work in progress and there's no work in progress in this case?
Where there is work in progress, it means there are unfinished products. So where there is work in progress, definitely you have opening work in progress and closing work in progress, sir. So, and definitely you will have to incorporate them. You have data relating to those work in progress. You get, sir. So there will be opening and closing. So when we are trying to determine our production, the issues of work in progress will also set in. So they'll give you opening work in progress
Okay.
and closing work in progress. There will be a data on work in progress specifically. So you also solve the way we solve for finished goods, for raw materials, and so on and
Okay.
so forth. So if you check, there was a question we solved also that they stated that there was no work in progress. So definitely the examiner will just put such statement there, but the issues of work in progress will not come in. Yes, but in the examination hall, you might be wondering, what will I do with this statement? Is for you to ignore. I always say it's not everything in the question that is useful. Yes, so you must know the relevant thing to make use of in the question and be very confident that this thing you don't need it. This is what you need. Because sometimes students can begin to cancel and cancel, thinking that what they've done is wrong, but rather they're on the right track. So that is it, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. So I will forward the past questions to the group. You can see it and work with it. Then in the next class, we'll look at cash budgets holistically. Then we'll take it further to issue of flexed budget. Then we'll still take it further to issue of flexible budget. Yes, I want to make sure I touch every aspect of that budget. Yes, this diet touch every aspect without leaving any stone on and so on. So we'll do everything we need to do. So after budget, we'll now move to variance. We'll move to variance. So that is how we're going to move. So by next week, we're going to be very much more faster so that by next week it will be 14th of February. Then before February, we should have moved very far. Before the ending of February, we should have moved very far. Yes. So that March, when March set in, we are gradually moving to May. So I just want us to, but above all, every topic we are treating, make sure you understand it and be able to solve questions on it. Because it's not how fast we move, it is how well you know it. So thank you very much. Let's have a
Hello,
pleasant
sir.
night.
I have a question, please.
All right, what is your question, ma'am?
Is flex budget different from flexible budget?
Very well, ma'am.
Really?
Yes, flex budget
What?
is budget that is prepared after the actual have occurred. Flexible budget is a budget prepared based on activity levels of, let's say you have an activity level of 20%, 30%, 40%. So as event changes, you quickly adjust based on flexibility. You understand? But if you read in literature, they will tell you that they are the same. I've read that too. So I've read that, but they are different. So question on flex budget. Flex budget is a budget prepared after the actual activity. And that is why when you prepare flex budget, they will tell you compare your actual with your flex to get your variance. But in flexible budget, that is where we look at issue of cost separation, where you can be given budget of 20% activity level, 30% activity level, 50% activity level. Then you will be given information and you'll be asked to prepare a budget at 90% activity level. And that is where the issue of high-low method set in. High-low method. So you use the highest budget value, highest budget activity to less the lowest budget activity, then you divide to get your values. And where there is mixed cost, where a cost is having both fixed and variable costs. You do what we call cost separation by applying the concept of high-low method again. So if you look at the past question, there is a question on flexible budget, question on basket mouth, and the question was repeated last diet. No, not last diet, was repeated in May 2025. Yes, so if you go to that question, you see it. Those are issues of flexible budget. So the issue of flexed budget is a different ball game. So they are different math. So we're going to look at each of those things. Yes. So that is it.
So for that cost
We
separation,
don't have
apart from
question.
high-low method, which other method can be used for cost separation?
Majorly is high-low method, except you want to use is high-low method majorly. Yes, for cost separation. High-low method. Yes. But the question will not even tell you to use high-low method. Yes. So it's you that will know that you are expected to use high-low method in a question. Yes. So that is where the issue of practice will set in.
Please, are you
Thank
giving
you,
us
sir.
assignment?
Yes,
Right. Yes. I will give you assignments. I will check. I will go to the past question keys I've prepared and look for a question. I think there is a question there. I want you to make attempts. So I will refer you to the question. Yes. So I'll communicate with you on the platform.
Sir, please don't forget to
Thank you
say
very
you drop the solution to the assignment on platform.
Oh, the solution is there. Check the one the Temitope forwarded. It's very well comprehensive, and I also forwarded one too. If you scroll up, you'll see the solution, sir.
Okay, sir.
Thank you, sir.